This is going to be an assembly video of the Fold and Go 3-speed. Let's get it out of the box and get it unpacked. This is what your Fold and Go looks like unpackaged. Let's put it together. Alright, let's put the wheel on. First, note that you have a bushing on the axle. Washer, slide on. This is the Freewheel side wheel. The two extra washers on the outside. Then the nut. And you tighten the nut up just enough to take any play out. Alright, let's put the drive wheel on. Take the nut off, the two washers, the spacer. Note the axle is splined and the hub is splined. The spacer goes on the far side of the hub, like that. Slide the wheel on. Washer, washer, nut. Tighten it up until it's snug. The nut should come all the way into the washers. Okay, next we're going to install the front fender. Before we do so, we're going to disconnect the brake and get the brake out of our way. Let's grab the flat section with one hand, grab the little round tube here with the second hand, pull them towards each other. That way you can slide the wire through the small slot right here. Take the brake or the bolt out of the fork. You'll have a washer, a spacer, another washer, and a nut. The bracket goes on the back side of the fork. Bolt goes through. Next you have your spacer on the back side. And you have the bracket from the fender, the washer, the nut. You'll need a 10mm wrench and a Phillips screwdriver to tighten it up. After that's tight, down the bottom of the fork, you'll have a nut and washer. Just tighten that up on both sides. Next we're going to unfold the trike. Take the quick release lever, close it. Next we're going to put the front wheel on. Note the washer on the axle. It's going to go in the small hole at the end of the fork. Tighten up the two nuts until it's snug on both sides. Alright, next we're going to insert the quill part of the handlebar stem down inside the fork steerer tube. There is a max limit line on that handlebar stem that has to be inserted. Next, rotate the handlebar to the desired position and tighten up the quick release lever. It does take quite a few turns to get this really good and tight. Next, we're going to insert the seat post with the minimum earth insertion line. Has to be hidden inside the frame. Just tighten up the quick release. Next we're going to adjust the front brake. Notice the brake pad has to be adjusted where it contacts the rim. So you need a 5mm Allen wrench to do this. Set the brake pad against the rim, make sure it doesn't touch the tire. Tighten it up. Do the same for the other side. Next is we're going to take the brake cable end, the barrel end, insert it inside the brake lever through the adjuster barrel, like so. Next we're going to come down and hook the front brake up, pull the boot back, expose the wire. You're going to slide the wire through this little slot right over here, pull the two pieces together, slide it through. The brake can be adjusted to be tighter or looser with this Allen bolt. So if we want to tighten it up just a little bit, you can loosen this bolt here, pull the cable through, tighten it up. If the brake is not centered from one side to the other, first check make sure the wheel is in the center of the fork. Second, the brake can be adjusted from side to side with the Phillips screwdriver on either side by putting more spring tension on the brake. Next we're going to put the right and left pedal on. The pedals are marked on the end of the pedal, R and L. Left hand side is this side here, right hand side is the side with the chain. Note that I'm tightening the left hand pedal counterclockwise. You'll need a thin wrench like this, 15 millimeter, to tighten up the pedals. Next we're going to install the rear basket. Put the basket on the frame, bracket, bolt with a washer, bracket goes underneath, washer next, and then the lock nut, which is 8 millimeters. And just tighten it up. Here's what you're going to need to put your trike together. One 8 millimeter wrench, one 10 millimeter wrench, one 15 millimeter wrench, one Phillips screwdriver, one 5 millimeter Allen, and one adjustable wrench to put the axle nuts on the rear.